Hey YouTube, this is Dean making another vid. If you like my content, please consider hitting the like button. Also, please consider subscribing, as it is very much appreciated. A discussion piece today on files and making them into strikers. I just watched a video about on David West's channel. He making a file into a striker. I loved it. Really good tutorial on turning these into strikers. He cut it off, ground it off, and made this into a striker. He didn't put it into a forge, and he just ground it off and turned these into a striker. It's probably the cheapest way of getting into flint and steel and making a striker. Just about everyone has the ability to turn these into a striker just by grinding it off. This one actually wouldn't have to do that. All you'd have to do is snap this one because it doesn't have any file teeth on the side. So basically you could put that in a vise, hit it with a hammer, and it'd probably snap. Why I'm making this video is, while these spark really well just as they are, I do think they do, if you've got the ability to put them in a forge, I do advocate requenching them. Even if you just snap them off, grind them, and just leave them as shaped as that, I would still quench them because they do spark better. Because these are made as files, they're not made as strikers. So what they'll do from the factory is they will harden them, so they'll quench them, but they also put them in the oven and then temper them. So what tempering is they'll put them in the oven at 190 degrees for an hour, and that'll bring them back. So quenching them, they're probably oil quenched, and they'd probably take it up to about 65 Rockwell, these files, and then they'll bring them back to about 61 Rockwell, because they're still pretty hard, which is quite a hard, because it'll bite into steel. Most steels aren't that hard, but that striker is water quenched, and it'll probably be 65 Rockwell. Hear that skating over that? That is harder than that file. But I just wanted to show, that's got no file teeth on the side there. So I can show you this file, how it sparks. Now that's sparking pretty good. That's not too bad at all. I hope that's coming up. It's sparking pretty good. This is my striker. They're both Wiltshire files too, so it's a pretty good file. File, granted, sparking really well, but that's on the same edge. So that's just a little demonstration. The only way I could do it better would be if I snapped that off, quenched one part of that file, and then showed you. So it would be exactly the same file, unquenched and then quenched. I might do that one time, because I'll snap a file off, keep one side of it unquenched, and then quench one side of it, just so that you can see exactly what they do. They do benefit from being quenched, but don't feel that you're being, just by snapping them off, you are being disadvantaged. That, don't get me wrong, they still spark. They spark well. And they will generate embers, and you're getting a decent amount of sparks. But once you put them in the quench tank, they spark better. So and the more sparks you generate, the easier it is to get embers. That's all I'm saying. So if you do have the access to a forge, you cannot harm it by putting it in the forge and quenching it in water. Especially with these thick strikers, you won't get a crack, most likely, by quenching it. And even if you just left it in that shape and just dipped it and thoroughly hardened it, it won't hurt it at all by doing that. And the only thing is, by doing that, is it'll be brittle. Don't drop these, because they are brittle. That's the only problem, because that's the disadvantage of hardening them like we do, because they do become so brittle that they will, if you drop them on concrete from any decent height, you'll probably snap a tine or that. But as you can see, the blue bit, I have tempered that tine, so hopefully that won't break off, and you probably won't snap this part. It's just too thick. But it might develop a crack or whatever. But yeah, I hope that's a nice little demonstration of this. But files are excellent. And I really enjoyed David's video of him drilling the there. I've tried drilling there. I don't know how he did it without normalising the steel and then drilling it, because even down there they're usually pretty hard. So yeah, he did it. So yeah, I don't know. But I've tried drill even down here, and it's usually still too hard for me. So yeah, I don't know. You must have some damn good bloody drills, because it's usually pretty hard down there anyway. So yeah, but really nice video, David. Yeah, I enjoyed that. But yeah, I like I said, I really do think you do get a lot more sparks once you put them in the quench tank. And yeah, if you've got the ability to do it, I definitely think you should do it. You can't hurt them by quenching them, and you develop far more sparks. Even with a gas axe, if you've got an acetylene torch, you can certainly, once you snap it off, just hold it with a pair of pliers, heat it up to non-magnetic, and then dip it into some water. That's quenching. And that'd be an easy way of doing it, because it wouldn't take long with an acetylene torch to get it up to orange. You just take it up to bright orange. And if you snap it off and then quench that, it'll spark as good as that one will, guaranteed. Because that's how I quench mine, and yeah, they come up really good. But anyway, I'm rattling on now. So yeah, just a little bit of a discussion piece on files and them. Yeah, if you can get onto your files, because I'm really liking making the files into strikers, because as I said on my last video, because of the file teeth, it gives you extra grip. They just turn into, and the tines make the curl really easy too, because you can just draw them out, and then it's just a matter of putting the curl in there. So yeah, half your work's already done for you. So yeah, it's as you can see, that's where I do that there. I snap it off there, and then just do a little bit of grind work there, and then just curl this in. So yeah, that's why I do that there, and retain the Wiltshire. retain the Wiltshire. So that's how I do that. So that's an easy way of doing that time work, because it's pretty easy, because that draws out pretty easy, and I don't actually draw it that far. I only thin this out a little bit, and then just thin this out so that I can get the curl in easy. Anyway, files and why I advocate quenching them. Thanks for watching.